Welcome to my channel, All Things Washington. Don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel, All Things Washington. Today we're going to talk about how to add the chain to your tumbler. We're going to talk about tumblers also. We're going to go over just a few things. The things that you will need, E6000. This is a glue. You're going to need scissors, you're going to need tape, you're going to need your chain. These chains I got at Amazon and they came like this here. There's 4 in here. You get 4. They call this a flat chain. So you're going to get 4 flat chains, and then they give you these holders. Your chain clips onto this here, and they have different kinds. I guess they're like, little knobs. They have this kind, and they have this little tiny kind, and that's the kind that I like to use. And they also have a screw, a tiny little screw. All right, so you can buy this at Amazon. You're also going to need UV resin, and this is a UV resin lamp. Some people, they use just the glue, and some use the glue in the resin lamp. And I did try to use the UV resin along with the lamp, but I really didn't have a whole lot of success with it. My chain kept coming off. I used the glue and the resin together. Matter of fact, this was one of my first ones, and it's holding up, pretty good now. But in the beginning, I did struggle with it. Also, you got to be neat with it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there on the sides. And you got to be neat with it. You have to figure out what works best for you, what makes your job easier. So I decided that I was going to use the glue because the glue seems to work for me. I put it on and I let it sit for 2 days, and I have no problem with it after those 2 days. All right, so what I want to mention about these tumblers, I made these 3 tumblers today. This says A Clerk's Life, a NICU. Made this one here in Chicago. Nurses at the hospital. Too pretty. And then I have this one here. And I'm showing you these because I have some flaws. I want to, pick them out, let you see them. And I also wanted to mention, when you get your tumblers, you have to measure them because they will be different sizes. I made this here, this tumbler here. This tumbler is shorter than this tumbler. They're both 20 ounce, but it's just a tad bit shorter. I don't know if you can see it. So I was drinking water, so it has water in it. You see that? It's a tad bit shorter. So what I ended up doing was, here's the noise. I didn't want to reprint my stuff over. I said, oh no, I didn't want to reprint it. So what I decided to do was, first of all, this picture wasn't big enough to wrap all the way around. I couldn't get it to, to wrap all the way around. So I ended up printing out a background. This is a background. I did apply their name to it also, but I printed out a background and I set the picture on top of the background. Now I went to Canva, and that's where I picked out the different backgrounds that I wanted to use for my picture. But what I did was, because it wasn't long enough, you can't really tell it, but it still looks nice. You can take, I printed out 2 backgrounds. And what I did was, I cut the background, and as I was taping my picture onto the tumbler, I also taped a small piece of the background that I cut around the bottom, because if I didn't do that, I would have had a whole lot of white showing down here. So by me doing that, I was able to cover my whole tumbler. And it came out nice. I was pleased with it. I'll show you the other ones also I'm talking about. Even with this one, because this is the same size as the new tumblers that came in. They came in just a little bit longer, just a tad longer. So I took the background on this one also to make sure that my bottom was covered, because it was just too much at the bottom that wasn't showing, and I did not want to waste my ink and reprint them when I didn't have to. So sometimes you gotta think a little bit to try and figure it out, try and fix it. Even with this one, she's pretty too. This was the background that I used for this one. And see how I was able to bring it? I'll bring it closer to the bottom. See that? It looks nice. So if you can correct your mistakes without making your job, you know, longer to do, without redoing it, then that's what you do. You find a way to do that. Now these things, they go on the bottom of your tumbler, so you won't have all the noise. Like when you sit it on a metal table, something like that, the noise might be louder. And you just stick it right on the bottom. I'll try and get it in the middle. But that's how that's done. Okay, so I'm going to set them aside because I'm going to work on this one first. But here's one that I also did. This is the background on this one. And I made this for a little girl. And I was able to put my name on the bottom of this. It says All Things Washington. But I noticed when I did it, the top of this, I don't know if you can see it. Do you see the top of that? It has little lines up there. And I guess I could have sold it, but I didn't want to sell it like that. When you tape it, you really got to tape it good and make sure that it's real secure to the tumbler. So that's what I did. I believe they call this ghosting. Yeah, they call it ghosting. So, but it's just a little bit. It's really not that bad. But I didn't want to sell it like that. So my niece, her name is Zoe. So I'm going to give this to her. Oh, and also, family is everything. I made this one. But you know, when you make something, you have to mirror your words. And I didn't mirror the words. Well, I didn't mirror the words. And I noticed it when I put it on here, when I taped it on. So then I reprinted this part, and I took it and I cut it. I mirrored it and I cut it and I put it over top. So when I did that, if you look closely, you can see the other words behind it that is not mirrored. So, but this one was mine. So, but nobody knows that, not unless I point it out, but that's mine. All right, so first thing we want to do, that you have to do with these, you're going to get this here and you're going to get a screw. So you put your screw in there, put it in there, and then make sure you got a little screwdriver. And then you're going to put this in there. Now, some people, they will put this on here first, glue it on there first, and then try and screw it. I find this to be easier. You glue it in first, you screw it in first, and then you glue it on there. That way you don't have to worry about it falling off while you're trying to put it on there. That was one of the problems that I was having too. All right, so I already screwed 2 in. So wouldn't waste some more time with that. Okay, so then you figure out where you want to place them. So I like to place them up top, closer to the top. And the reason why that is because when you put your chain on, you want them to have a little room there so it doesn't take away from it. If I were to put it down here somewhere, then that's not going to look right. When it drops and fall, that'll look fine. And some say, it depends on where you want it to fall, where you want to place. But if you try to pull it up, it's not going to give them much room, to hold it. So I go close to the top. That way they have enough room to hold it. So just keep that in mind before you glue it on there. And you find a spot where you want to put it at. Kind of eye it. And I already kind of eyed it to try to get it to look even there. So I'm trying to add again. Okay. Then you take your glue. Give it a little poke there. Then you're going to squeeze it on here. You really don't need a whole lot of it. And you figure out where you're going to put it at. I think that's where I said I wanted it at. Yeah, that'll work. Put it right there. Let it sit for a few seconds. If you stand it up, it'll slide down. So just let it sit there for a few seconds. Now, I don't have one of those things that you might see some people have that holds their tumblers. But use what you got. So I use this here. My tape dispenser. It holds it. So I sit it right there for a few seconds. I don't know if you can see it. I sit it right there. And here's a little trick. This is a little piece of paper towel and a piece of tape. Now, some people take the tape and they just, you know, tape it to that to hold it. But I didn't want, when it dried, I didn't want my tape to, I had to pull it off and then pull the thing off. So I put a piece of paper towel back here for cushion. That way, the tape isn't touching the hook, just the paper is. So I put it on there for support. So when you think it's on there good enough without it sliding down, then you can do the other side. But I'm gonna go ahead and put my tape on here. So you take your tape and you just go right over the top, just like you put on the Band-Aid. And you tape it down, add a little pressure, tape it down to the other side. There you go. And it ain't going nowhere. That's holding it. Know where I want it, and I guess also you can take a little marker to just dab where you want to place it. And just place the glue right in there. Place that right there. And I'm going to take this here. And then I'm going to let it sit for 2 days to dry. Okay, so I have them taped up on each side. And I have this tape here just to hold it in position, and it adds a little pressure to it. And that one, here's the other one, so you can see. And then here's this one. And what it does, it just adds a little pressure. And also, you can let the people know, whoever you're making it for or selling it to, let them know that the chain is just for decoration. Decoration only. Not to actually fill this up and be carrying it around, because it's possible it might come off. All right? So just let them know. Put a little note in the box and say decoration only. Okay? So we're going to let this sit for 2 days to dry. Okay, so now it's been 2 days, and I had said in 2 days we will remove the tape and we will add the chains. So I'm going to, hold on, just be careful when you do remove the tape. Whatever tool that you're using, you don't scratch your tumbler. All right. So you can take this off. And there you have it. It's on there nice and sturdy. Take this side off. Just a second. Got it on here really good. All right. Got that side off. I'm going to add the chain. And the flat chain, all you do is press that there. It opens up. Hook it. Hook the other side. It's not hard to hook. Your fingers just get in the way, that's all. Okay. There's that one there. Came out nice. Clerk's Life. This is for one of the clerks at the hospital. Clerk's Life. Don't forget though, as you're making them and you're selling them or giving them away, just remind them, just let them know that the chain is basically for, what do you call it? Just basically, you know, for the look, not so much to fill it up with whatever liquid you're going to have in there and carry it around. It's basically for decoration. All right, so that's that one. Then we have the other one. Come on, come on, come on. Got tape on it real good. Okay. You know, I tried to line these up as best as I could. You know, I put them close to the top. If you notice, close to the top. All right, so I have another chain to put on, which is that one, and this one, nope, that one. I had already did one earlier, so I have all three of them now. Clerk's Life, and we also have NICU Life. And I believe she told me she works, helps out with the nursery. And that's her name, Nicole. I also add names, you know, if you want to put a name on there. What's that? And one more thing, I'm going to show you what I did. For instance, the Clerk's Life, I made a shirt to go with it. I don't know if you can see that. I'll hold it up. Can you see that? I'm going to hold this up. Here you go. Isn't that nice? And let me get the other one. Which goes with this one. See that, twins? There's the tumbler. There's your shirt. And then here's this one here. That one. And then here's the matching tumbler that goes with that one. Very nice. So thank you. See you next time. And speaking of the noise, subscribe to my channel and click the like button. All things Washington. Thank you. God bless.